Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those Tuesday Trophy Talk Trophy List Update videos. Today's date is Tuesday, August the 5th of 2025. So this will have covered technically just the week of July the 29th through August the 4th, but it also kind of covers the week before that because I literally only got one trophy that week anyway. So we do have quite a few games to talk about this week. So the first one, there are some new Call of Duty lists here. Why are there Call of Duty lists here? Ask Activision, because I legitimately have no idea what goes through their brains most of the time. So what happened was they decoupled the current two Modern Warfare games, or at least the two most recent Modern Warfare games, from the COD HQ, but they apparently are not fully doing away with COD HQ, which makes no sense because you would think they would just go ahead and get rid of that at this point because no one likes it, and now they're doing all this ridiculous crap with it. So I really don't know what they were deciding to do with all of that, but this resulted in them releasing a lot of new trophy lists for this franchise. So as we can see here now, Call of Duty HQ is now its own unique list, and this was the one that started with the original PS5 version of Modern Warfare 2, and then had the PS5 versions of Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6 as DLC packs. So this whole thing is going to be an absolute freaking cluster F at this point, because I guess that future games are just going to keep getting added to the COD HQ. But then, like, with every new game they release, are they just going to take a different old one off? And I'm also kind of wondering, like, why would you take off Modern Warfare 2 and 3, but not, like, Vanguard or something? Because isn't Vanguard part of COD HQ still? Like, that's one of the worst ones. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 I can kind of understand, but I would have thought they would have gotten rid of some of the older ones first, so none of this makes any sense whatsoever. But, of course, that's the no stage here, and then I have all my other old Call of Duty games that I've done over the years. Black Ops Declassified, it'll get done someday. I promise it will get done someday. I mean, it's at least a fairly short experience. I've just been quite busy. Advanced Warfare PS3 most likely will never happen, though I am in like a COD boosting group for trophies and achievements on Discord, so we will see about that, because it's really, as I've talked about before, it's really not the main game that's really all that difficult or that much to worry about. It's mostly just the DLCs, especially looking at these last two. Especially looking at this one right here, defeating Oz for the last time. That trophy is going to suck because it was terrible on the PS4 version. PS4 version of Black Ops 3, or PS3 version of Black Ops 3 is of course unobtainable and has been for a long time and will probably never be fixed. It is now, I believe, the rarest Call of Duty Platinum by a pretty good margin, so that says, yeah, 0.44%, so yeah, that's definitely rarer than something like Black Ops 4. Infinite Warfare, World War II, both 100%ed. Black Ops 4, that's not going to happen because I don't have that kind of time. Modern Warfare 2019, of course, is one of the easier ones. Both versions of Cold War, both versions of Vanguard, and now we have our new releases here. So we now have 3 releases of Modern Warfare 2 2022 alongside the version that's COD HQ, so technically there's now 4 Platinums for this particular game. You have the re-release for this being, of course, the new standalone version on PS4, the new standalone version on PS5, and then the original version, which was the original PS4 version of the game that came out at the same time as the other one. So, why have I not done Modern Warfare 2's new PS5 stack yet? Well, here's the interesting thing. The other 3, so the re-release for the PS4 version of this game, as well as both of the re-releases, I guess you could call them, for Modern Warfare 3, all of those auto-pop if you've done everything in the previous version of the game. All of those auto-pop straight over from COD HQ, and I think you can actually auto-pop them into COD HQ, which means that COD HQ should still be obtainable no matter what. The issue is, for whatever reason, this one particular game does not auto-pop. I have no idea why this particular one doesn't work. And it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I get that it's probably just Activision not knowing what the hell they're doing yet again, because they screw up pretty much everything they touch. Thankfully, though, I'm glad that this is the one that they would have not auto-pop correctly, because God forbid I'd ever have to do Modern Warfare 3 again. No thank you. That one is so much worse with just how long the zombies crap takes. With this one, the only bad part of it is just the co-op stuff, and it's like three Spec Ops missions or something. They're a little bit annoying, but they're nowhere near as bad as like the zombies from the other game. So, yeah, that's where I'm at on the Call of Duty franchise. I still don't understand this one at all. This is, again, one of the strangest things I've seen in the world of trophy hunting ever. It's up there with things like the Borderlands 1 Japanese version that randomly got DLC. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever actually shown this on a video. I can show it here. Because I've talked about this a few times before, but I might not have made it super clear in the past. So the PS3 Japanese stack of Borderlands 1 originally only ever released with the first 3 DLCs, and that's all it was ever going to have. So you can see all of this here. And then they randomly, like a few years ago, accidentally patched in the trophies for Claptrap's Robot Revolution, which is the 4th DLC. But they never actually made that version of this DLC for this game. So it'll never be possible to 100% most likely unless they ever like patch something in or fix something. I don't know. But like, it's just kind of ridiculous that they would do that. And, oh, people are actually trying to figure this out or something? I'm actually legitimately curious. Are they going to try to maybe remove it from there? I guess they probably aren't. I don't know if they're actually allowed to or not, but yeah, still such a bizarre scenario. Glad I got to show that here. So another game I've been working on, of course, has been Death Stranding, and progress is definitely going along well in this game. So in the past week, completed plenty of standard orders, of course. Now, I did figure out the premium orders, because this is something that you like have to switch the controls to make it work. So, or not really switch the controls, but just like switch the order menus to make this one work. And I'm assuming that there's like certain ones that are easier than others. I don't think this is going to be too terribly difficult, especially now that I have most of the infrastructure built up in like the second area of the game. So I'm not insanely worried about this one, but I know that it's going to take a while because that one's literally 80 deliveries total. So I think you also have to do it on the hardest difficulty. Oh, it's not good. Well, that was weird. PSN Profiles just crashed on me, or something with a computer, I don't know. So anyways, in terms of other trophies, none of these are new ones except this one, I believe was... No, it was this one. So this was the one that I did in the first of the 2-week period. It's very easy because it's just like 11 different things you have to build. The only one I was really missing was like the Timefall Shelter and the bridge, because you have to build both the bridge foundation and the actual bridge itself. Connect all facilities. I'm not missing that many. I've got every facility in the starting area connected, and I think I'm missing maybe 2 in the second area. And I don't know if there's any in the third area that I'm missing, but definitely, you know, progress being made there. Maximum connection level, I think I've maxed out every facility in the starting area, and I've maxed out a few of the ones in the second area, but I mostly haven't gone to the other side of the mountain yet, so got quite a ways to go on that, and of course the third area after that. And then, let's see, the memory chips, I think you can just follow a guide for those, so I'll get around to those at some point, because there are a lot of them. I think there's over 50 of them. Then, let's see, the interview one. Okay, yep, I read 100 interviews. This one's super easy. It just takes a little bit of time to unlock enough interviews to actually read, so don't worry too much about that one. It should come naturally. Maximum connection level with BB, I'm pretty close to this, because I think I'm at 4.5 out of 5 stars with her. It's actually a her. So I'm actually pretty close to being done with that trophy. I'll have it done definitely very soon. Level 60 in all the evaluation categories. I'm there on maybe 1 or 2 of them and very close on 2 others. It's just delivery time because I don't usually take on the time deliveries that often. Then let's see what else. Deliver 700 items of cargo. Finally got that done. It's a very easy trophy. It'll come naturally over time. Then Higgs is home. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I'm going to have to look this one up. I've been talking about that before. I'll just have to look it up and see exactly what you do for it. Somehow, by some strange coincidence, I don't have this trophy yet, which is really weird. I'm not actually entirely sure how to do it, and I don't know how I haven't gotten it yet because literally everyone who plays this game seems to get it. Upgrading all types of structures. I've upgraded all but maybe 2 of them. I've still got to get the zip line fully upgraded, and I think there's one other thing that I still have to get fully upgraded alongside that. But getting very close to being done with that just takes a lot of materials. And then all of those trophies were already earned. And then fabricate everything. I've got a whole list of everything left to fabricate. And I've done probably at least a third of them at this point. So I don't think that's going to be too difficult because I can just fabricate them and then, just put them right back into the disposal and recycle feature, whatever you want to call it. So definitely not done with the game yet, but definitely getting closer. So that's pretty awesome. Then I'll be able to auto-pop a majority of the director's cut version, which is going to be great, be able to do that, and then just maybe spend another 10 hours in that version knocking out the remaining trophies that don't fully auto-pop. All going to be a good time. What isn't so much of a good time is College Football 26. So I did College Football 25 a while back, and I would have done it a lot faster, but this was actually back when my old computer actually died. So that's the main reason this one took longer than it really should have, because 3 weeks, this game definitely does not take 3 weeks to do. You could probably do it in a day if you really know what you're doing. This one was really overall quite easy. The only difficult trophy in the game was leveling up in the multiplayer. But that one, of course, was very annoying, but I was able to get it through boosting. And if you just boost it, it's really not that much to worry about. There's also 1 or 2 trophies, specifically one of this Ultimate Team trophies. Yeah, this Download Center one. That one's bugged, so that wasn't fun. But otherwise, that one isn't too bad to go through. College Football 26, though, I would argue is a much worse game in certain ways. Like, yeah, there's more teams, certain things are more upgraded and streamlined, but I've found when I've played games even online that hardly anyone ever rushes, because rushing just doesn't really seem to work very well in this game in comparison to the previous one, which is a big problem for one of the later trophies. And then just, there's a lot of janky stupidity with the game, where like you can just randomly bounce off of people when you really should not be, or sometimes they'll just tackle you from pretty far away and catch up to you when they probably shouldn't. It's just doesn't feel like the most well put together game. And the trophies are also extremely lazy and uncreative, as they're almost identical to the previous entry. So, play now, this is the first trophy I got just for completing my very first game, which I just did as like a casual playing Clemson against Florida State. Beat the crap out of them, got this trophy done just to sort of relearn the game. These 3, I'm assuming, are all for the Dynasty mode again, which I'm saving for last because you can sim a lot of that, and I'll probably play some of the games as well just to make Clemson even greater again. Because give them 2 national championships in a row like I did in the previous game. Well, I gave them 1 in the previous game, so there'll be 1 in this game. Anyways, the hat, I don't remember exactly what I did for this. I think that you just do this by going through the Road to Glory, which is sort of like a bit of a story mode. And as you go through it, you eventually go through all the high school stuff, sim all the high school stuff, and then you get to pick which college you want to go to. And that's where you get that trophy. So it's pretty easy. You can sim through all of that to speed it up. Thankfully, this Download Center trophy actually works fine in this game, so it's not bugged this time around. But don't worry, bugs do exist this time. 10 challenges in Ultimate Team, super easy. Just do like the first 10 challenges, you'll have no problem. Start your road to the college football playoff. That means play any one game in the road to the CFP mode. Now, they have changed this mode to where it's now 12 games in a season, and the ranking up is actually more logical this time around, which is actually going to make the next level trophy probably a little bit easier, especially to boost. Now, I did manage to defeat an opponent with a higher tier. I originally thought I might have to boost this one, but I actually managed to do it legitimately when I played against a guy that was like actually just as bad at the game as I was and not doing any sort of cheating or exploiting or anything like that. And I was actually able to beat him on not quite a last second play, but pretty close to the end of the game. So managed to beat him, and then that gave me this trophy because I think I was a tier 2 and he was a tier 1. So I got very lucky with just popping that trophy, but you could also boost that one alongside next level. So the way they changed it is that, like I said, they upgraded it to 12 games in a season, which is more correct, not counting like playoffs and ACC championships and stuff like that. So they upgraded it to 12 games. and you simply have to win 4 games in the season in total. It doesn't really matter anymore, if you beat or lose to differently numbered teams, because that just affects your ranking within the leaderboards, but it doesn't affect your ability to progress up to the freshman level, because you start as the recruit tier and then you go up to the freshman tier. So really, it just means for this trophy, now you just have to win 4 games in a single season. Obviously, much easier said than done if you're not particularly good at sports games, or if you come across all the super sweaty tryhard players or handful of hackers that I've already come... Well, I don't know if they were necessarily hackers. It may very well have just been this game being really kind of poorly designed at times and janky, so there's a very real chance it was less of that and less of the players and more of just the game not being as well put together in certain ways. So then, alongside that, we then get a few more trophies that are similar to ones from the previous game, but unfortunately, this is where there are some other issues with this. 95-yard passing touchdown is actually very easy as long as you just set the opponents to having, 0 skill pretty much. Very, very easy to do. I got it on, my first or second attempt, so not a problem whatsoever. 90-yard rushing touchdown is absolutely ridiculous because, like I said, the rushing in this game just does not work very well, and no one online really ever seems to rush. They might do an RPO sometimes, but actual dedicated runs just don't seem to happen. So I eventually got it by following one specific play that I was able to find by just searching a bunch of forums online, and it actually worked. And kickoff returns do not count for this. I did try that, and that does not work, so it can't be a kickoff return. It has to be an actual rushing play. So, yeah, that was terrible. That was a very, very terrible experience just because, again, the rushing just does not really work all that well in this game. Then this instant classic I was able to get on either my first or second attempt. I was able to get this one without too many problems. Nothing much really else to say about that. Just play as one team against their rival and beat them at the last second. This player of the game trophy is apparently bugged, but I just haven't gone for it yet. And then finally, the top tradition trophy. This one is very strangely bugged because I forced a turnover while playing as Miami, and it didn't unlock. Then I went and played a game as Alabama or Oklahoma or something, I think Alabama, and it did pop. And that makes no sense because Miami was literally the ones that came up with the whole turnover chain thing back in 2017. So why the hell would it not work for them? Because it worked for them in the previous game. It worked. That was the best foolproof strategy to get it in the previous game, was to play as Miami. And for some reason it doesn't work in this one, so I don't understand that one at all. But yeah, this trophy could potentially be bugged, but the only actually potentially difficult trophy I have left is the next level one, but I do have a boosting partner, and will end up boosting that one, so I'm really not worried about it. We shouldn't have too many problems with that. Should be able to knock it out within half an hour probably. It's just depending on when we're both available, hopefully in the next couple of days. Even potentially by the time this video goes up, I might have the trophy. So I'm not worried about it because we can boost it, thankfully. And it should be a lot more, just simple to boost this time around. But yeah, this game has not been a fun experience so far. And it's definitely turning me away from the idea of doing any other sports games in the future. Because, like I said, it's got a lot of problems. It's just not, trophies don't work right. Certain plays don't work right. All the sweats online, it's just not the most fun thing to play. So with that, level 902, 70%. 30,787 total trophies, 888 platinums, 5,943 golds, 8,271 silvers, 15,685 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. I don't really want to stream Death Stranding again this week because it is starting to slow down a little bit just with some of the gameplay and everything. I did stream it a little bit last week because at one point I didn't have anything better to play. And on another night, it was after I finished all the Call of Duty auto-popping and stuff. And that stream did really well, so thank you guys for that one. Definitely more of college football. I should be able to finish that. Depending on how much I decide to sim, I could technically do it in probably one more stream. But I'm probably going to try to drag it out to 2 more streams just so I can actually get some more gameplay out of it. Because I actually bought the game stupidly instead of just waiting for Gamefly to get it to me. So other than that, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I could go back and do Modern Warfare 2 because I believe that even though the trophies don't necessarily auto-pop, I believe that if you carry over your save data, you only have to complete the final mission of the game again on Veteran to get the Veteran trophies, which is actually really nice because that game's Veteran was a little more of a pain in the ass than the other Modern Warfares were. Because Modern Warfare 2019 was easy almost the entire way through. Modern Warfare 3 had like one or two tricky areas in the game, so short anyway. But this one definitely had a few annoying parts with some of the armored enemies and stuff, so I might do that as well. We'll have to see. I could probably find a way to make a video out of it if I really wanted to, so that is an option for the future as well. Otherwise, though, I don't know exactly what I'm going to play at any given time, and still working on the Resident Evil 7 video. It's getting pretty close to being done. It's probably like 80% of the way done, so possibly out this weekend or at latest next week. So that'll be up soon, and then Astrobot will be next up after that. That one I don't think will take insanely long to put together, hopefully. And after that is the Clock Tower speedrun, and then Dead Rising 2 off the record. And yeah, so that's some of the plans for those upcoming videos. I also have a Mario Party game that I'm editing on my old laptop because OneDrive for some reason won't take it or download it, so I'm just having to do it on the old laptop, which is fine, just takes a little bit longer. And I'll get that up at some point for me and Lizard Guy playing, as well as an episode of Smash 5, whatever the one is, on the Switch. And that's going to be like a half an hour video. The Mario Party is going to be like an hour and a half long. It was a fun time, though. So me and Lizard Guy had a lot of fun hanging out. We didn't end up recording anything because that's usually what ends up happening, is we usually just end up kind of hanging out, playing games and stuff. We can't really stream as easily from home because the internet back there isn't the best. But at some point in the future, he's going to actually come down here to South Carolina, or up here to South Carolina in the future, and we will definitely be able to stream during whenever that happens, hopefully sometime a little bit later this year. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments what kind of progress you made this past week, and I will see y'all back here later on this week for some more trophy content.